Put down the flag. Burn the ballot paper in your mind. We need to look at the naked reality of the dominance hierarchy. You live in a zoo. The zoo has rules. It has keepers. And every few years, the keepers stage a play called The Election. They put two chimps on a stage. One wears a red tie. One wears a blue tie. They scream at each other. They throw feces. They beat their chests. And you, the observer, feel a surge of emotion. You pick a side. You scream for your chimp. You fight with your neighbor who likes the other chimp. You feel involved. You feel powerful. My vote counts, you say. This is the brilliant hack of the modern state. They gave you the ritual of choice to hide the reality of control. Biologically, humans are tribal animals. We need an alpha. We crave a leader who will direct the hunt and defend the cave. In the tribe of 150 people, you knew the alpha. You knew if he was strong. You knew if he was a liar. If he failed, you could kill him with a rock. But in a nation of millions, the alpha is an abstraction. He is a TV image. He is a hologram projected by billionaires. You are not voting for a man. You are voting for an archetype. The strong father, conservatism, who promises order and discipline. The nurturing mother, liberalism, who promises care and equality. These are not political platforms. These are biological triggers aimed at your childhood needs. The politician is an actor hired to play the role of the parent you never had, or the parent you wish you had. And money. Money is the scriptwriter. Money is the director. Money owns the theater. While you argue about the actors, the owners of the theater are counting the ticket sales, your taxes, and laughing. How do you control a herd of millions? You cannot use a whip on everyone. It's too expensive. You use fear. Fear is the most powerful political currency. The amygdala, the fear center, overrides the neocortex, the logic center. If I can make you afraid, I own you. Every political campaign is a horror movie script. Candidate A says, "The barbarians are at the gate. They will rape your women, burn your towns, and steal your jobs. Only I can build the wall. Only I have the sword." He triggers the territorial instinct, the fear of invasion, the fear of the other. He turns your neighbor into a potential enemy. Candidate B says, "The planet is dying. The corporations are poisoning your water. The fascists are coming to take your rights. Only I can save the earth. Only I can give you justice." He triggers the survival instinct, the fear of extinction, the fear of oppression. Both are lying. Or rather, they are exaggerating a 1% threat to a 100% emergency. Why? Because a frightened animal seeks a protector. When you are scared, you regress. You want daddy to make the monsters go away. The politician creates the monster or inflates it and then sells you the cure. The price of the cure, your freedom, your money, your obedience. This is the protection racket. Nice life you have here. Shame if the terrorists, immigrants, fascists, communists destroyed it. Vote for me and I'll keep you safe. They manufacture a crisis to manufacture consent. If there is no war, they will start one. If there is no plague, they will find one. If there is no social division, they will invent one. Because a happy, secure population does not need a savior. Peace is bad for the political business. Chaos is profit, but fear is not enough. You also need envy. The primal tribe has a hierarchy. The alphas have the most. The betas have less. This creates tension. The smart politician knows how to harness this tension. He uses class warfare. He points his finger at the successful and screams, "They stole it from you." He activates the zero-sum bias in your brain. The primitive mind thinks, if he has a lot of meat, it means he took it from my plate. In reality, wealth can be created, but the primitive mind doesn't grasp economics. The politician tells the herd, "You are not poor because you are lazy or unskilled. You are poor because he is rich. Give me the power, and I will punish him. I will take his meat and give it to you." This is the politics of resentment. It is the weapon of the weak against the strong. It disguises theft as justice. Tax the rich, eat the rich. It feels good to shout that, doesn't it? It releases dopamine. It validates your failure. It's not my fault. It's the system. The politician becomes the avenger, the Robin Hood. But here is the trick. He doesn't take from the rich to give to the poor. He takes from the rich and the middle class, keeps 80% for himself and his bureaucracy, and throws the remaining crumbs to the poor to keep them dependent. He creates a class of dependents who must vote for him to survive. He creates a hostage situation. If you vote for the other guy, he will take away your benefits. He buys your vote with your own money. He breaks your legs and then hands you a crutch, expecting you to kiss his hand for the gift. Look at how they divide you. In the wild, the tribe is survival. Us versus them. To hack this, politicians create artificial tribes. They use identity politics. They slice the electorate into tiny slivers based on race, gender, sexuality, religion. They tell each sliver, "You are a victim. The other slivers hate you. I am your only defender." They create a civil war of the mind. They make you identify with your label more than your humanity. I am a label, and because you are a label, you must vote for party. If you don't, you are a traitor to your blood. You are a sellout. This is social enforcing. They weaponize shame to keep the herd in line. If a black black man votes conservative or a woman votes against feminism, the herd attacks them viciously. Why? Because they broke the narrative. They showed that the tribe is a lie. The politician needs you to be a caricature, not a person. He needs you to be a predictable voting bloc. He feeds on division. If the people united against the ruling class, the game would end in a day. So they keep the people fighting each other. Red versus blue, black versus white, men versus women. It is the Colosseum. You are the gladiators killing each other in the dirt, while the emperor, the state, watches from the luxury box, eating grapes paid for by your labor. Now let's look backstage. Who pays for the lights? Campaigns cost billions. Where does that money come from? From you? $20 donations? Don't make me laugh. It comes from the mega predators, corporations, banks, unions, the military-industrial complex. They are not donating out of charity. They are investing. They expect an ROI, return on investment. When a bank gives a candidate $10 million, they expect $100 million back in favorable regulations, tax loopholes, or bailouts. And they get it. This is lobbying. It is legalized bribery. The politician is not an employee of the people. He is an employee of the donor. You are the product. Your vote is the commodity he sells to the donor to keep his job. The laws are written by the donors, handed to the politician, and signed into law to govern you. This is regulatory capture. The predators capture the mechanism that is supposed to protect the sheep, and they use it to build a slaughterhouse. And you argue about abortion, or flags, or tweets. These are distraction issues. They are the magician's waving hand. While you look at the shiny culture war, the other hand is looting the treasury. They keep you fighting over symbols, so you don't notice they are stealing the substance. Money has no ideology. Goldman Sachs donates to both parties. Why? Because they bet on the casino, not on the player. Whoever wins, the bank wins. Whoever wins, you lose. The ultimate instinct they exploit is the Messiah complex. Deep down, you want to be saved. You want a strong man to come down from the mountain and fix everything. Make America great again. Hope and change. These are religious slogans. They promise a return to Eden or a march to utopia. They tap into your spiritual hunger. You project all your hopes, dreams, and unresolved daddy issues onto a politician. You attend rallies. You wear hats. You scream his name. You are in a cult. The politician loves this. He feeds on your adoration. It fuels his narcissism, but he cannot save you. The state is a hammer. It cannot build a soul. It cannot build a family. It cannot build meaning. It can only smash, tax, and jail. When you look to the state for salvation, you are looking for love in a whorehouse. You will only get a disease. Every time you say, there ought to be a law, you are saying, men with guns should force my neighbor to do what I want. You are outsourcing your morality to the state, and the state will happily take that power and use it against you tomorrow. We assume that people in power are smart, that they have a plan. This is the authority bias. We think he is in a suit, behind a podium with flags. He must know what he is doing. The terrifying truth is, they are incompetent. Most politicians are failed lawyers, narcissists, or actors. They have no skills. They have never run a business. They have never built a house. They have never healed a patient. Their only skill is winning elections. That is a skill of manipulation, lying, and acting. It has zero overlap with the skill of governance. Being good at getting the job does not make you good at doing the job. In fact, it's the opposite. The traits required to win power, ruthlessness, deception, narcissism, are the exact traits that make you terrible at wielding power. We are ruled by the worst among us, the negative selection. Decent people do not want to rule others. Decent people want to be left alone. Only the power-hungry psychopaths endure the mud of politics to reach the top. So you have a system designed by psychopaths, run by incompetence, funded by thieves, and validated by fools. And you wonder why the roads are full of potholes and the money is worthless. Here is part 2. We are moving from the psychological manipulation to the economic machinery of the cage. This is where the pain becomes real. This is where you realize that public service is actually private extraction. Let's talk about the magic trick that keeps the regime alive. A politician wants to get elected. He needs to promise you things. Free healthcare, free college, new roads, subsidies for your failing business. But these things cost money. He has two choices. Taxation. He can take the money directly from your paycheck. Problem. If he raises taxes too high, you will get angry. You will vote him out. You might even revolt. Taxation is visible pain. The herd feels the lash. Inflation. He can print the money. Solution. He calls the central bank. They print new digits. He spends them on his promises. This is the political perpetual motion machine. He gives you free stuff today. You cheer. You vote for him. But the money supply increases. The value of the currency drops. A year later, prices go up. Your groceries cost more. Your gas costs more. Do you blame the politician? No. You blame the greedy corporations. You blame the supply chain. You don't realize that the higher prices are the tax you didn't pay last year. Inflation is taxation without representation. It is a hidden tax on your savings and your wages. It allows the politician to play Santa Claus while acting like the Grinch in secret. He buys your loyalty with a credit card that you have to pay off. And the worst part? He uses the inflation to divide you. When prices rise, the poor suffer most. So the politician says, look, prices are high. The capitalists are gouging you. Give me more power so I can control prices. He breaks your leg, inflation, and then offers you a crutch, price controls, stimulus, and you thank him for the crutch. It is a perfect cycle of dependency. How do you turn a wolf into a poodle? You feed it, you make it illegal to hunt, and you put a bowl of kibble in front of it every day. After 3 generations, the wolf forgets how to hunt. It forgets the forest. It only knows the bowl. If you threaten to take the bowl away, the poodle will bite, not the master, but the person trying to liberate it. This is the welfare state. It is not charity. It is domestication. The state does not want independent citizens. Independent citizens are hard to govern. They ask questions. They have resources. They can say no. The state wants dependence. It wants a population that lives hand to mouth, relying on the state for food, housing, medicine, and income. A dependent population is a guaranteed voting bloc. Vote for me, or the other guy will take your bowl away. This creates a client state. You are no longer a citizen with rights. You are a client with needs. The politician is the drug dealer. The government check is the heroin. Once you are hooked, you will do anything to keep the flow coming. You will surrender your privacy. You will surrender your guns. You will surrender your freedom of speech. Just don't cut the check. This destroys the human spirit. The primal instinct is to strive, to overcome, to provide. When you remove the connection between effort and reward, you kill the soul. Look at the ghettos, created by welfare policies. Look at the native reservations. Total dependence, total despair, high crime, high suicide. Why? Because a human who does not hunt is a human who is rotting. The state frames welfare as compassion. It is not compassion. It is cruelty wrapped in velvet. It is the cruelty of keeping a bird in a cage and telling it that the sky is dangerous. They clip your wings and then promise to carry you. The system needs chaos. Stability is the enemy of power. In stable times, people want to be left alone. They want low taxes and small government. In times of crisis, people beg for authority. Save us. So the politician waits for a crisis, or he creates one. War, pandemic, terrorist attack, financial crash. In the moment of panic, he passes emergency laws, the Patriot Act, lockdowns, surveillance bills, bailouts. He tells you, this is temporary, just until we flatten the curve, just until we defeat the terrorists. The lie of temporariness. Power operates on a ratchet. It clicks forward. It never clicks back. The temporary income tax introduced for war becomes permanent. The temporary airport security becomes the new normal. The temporary surveillance becomes the total panopticon. Once the state acquires a power, it never gives it back. Have you ever seen a government agency close down because the job is done? No. They find a new mission. They expand the budget. The crisis is the lubricant for tyranny. And you, in your fear, applaud the chains. You confuse security with freedom. You trade the danger of the jungle for the safety of the slaughterhouse. The slaughterhouse is very safe. The fence is high. The food is regular. The farmer protects you from the wolves until the day he decides it's time for the harvest. Then you realize that the fence was not there to keep the wolves out. It was there to keep you in. You think the media is the watchdog of democracy? You think journalists are brave truth seekers fighting the power? Wake up. The media is the PR department of the regime. In the primal tribe, information is survival. If the scout lies about the lion, the tribe dies. Today, the scouts, journalists, are on the payroll of the chief. Look at the corporate structure. 6 corporations own 90% of the media. These corporations depend on government regulations, licenses, and access. They are in bed with the state. This is the cathedral, the church of the state. The media sets the current thing. They tell you what to be angry about this week. Be angry at Russia. Herd gets angry. Be angry at the virus. Herd gets scared. Be angry at the unvaccinated. Herd attacks the dissidents. It is a synchronized swimming routine. You are not forming your own opinions. You are downloading software updates. The NPC, non-player character, phenomenon. Most people do not think. They recite scripts. Safe and effective. Trust the science. Threat to democracy. These are thought-terminating cliches. They are designed to bypass logic and trigger tribal loyalty. If you question the narrative, the media brands you a heretic, conspiracy theorist, racist, extremist. These are the modern equivalents of witch. They mark mark you for social exile. The politician uses the media to herd the sheep. The media uses the politician to gain access. It is a symbiotic circle of lies, and you are the target audience. We are taught that justice is blind, that the law applies equally to everyone. This is a fairy tale for children. In the primal world, the alpha is above the law. The law is for the betas. In the modern state, the law is a weapon. The code of laws has become so complex, so vast, that everyone is guilty of something. Did you pay every cent of tax correctly? Did you cross the street perfectly? Did you fill out Form 24B? You commit 3 felonies a day without knowing it. This is by design. Selective enforcement. If you are a friend of the regime, the FBI loses your file. The IRS ignores your audit. You can burn cities, loot stores, and trade stocks on insider info. You get a pass. If you're an enemy of the regime, a dissident, a rival, a loudmouth, the eye of Sauron turns on you. They will find a crime. Show me the man, and I'll find you the crime. Lavrenti Beria, head of Stalin's secret police. This principle governs modern politics. The lawfare is used to bankrupt, silence, and imprison political threats. It is not about justice. It is about elimination. It sends a message to the herd. Keep your head down. Do not challenge the alpha, or we will destroy you using the very system you pay for. The justice system is the enforcement arm of the political caste. It protects the castle and polices the village. So what do? Do you fight? Do you protest? Do you vote harder? No. If you fight the state, you engage it on its own terms. You validate it, and you will lose. They have the tanks. They have the judges. They have the media. The primal solution is not revolution. Revolution just replaces one pig with another pig at the trough. The primal solution is secession, not of territory, but of the mind and resources. You must become ungovernable, not by breaking the law that makes you a target, but by not needing the state. 1. The gray man strategy. Do not paint a target on your back. Do not be the loudest voice on Facebook. Do not be the guy waving the flag. Be boring. Be invisible. The state hunts the tall poppies. Camouflage is your friend. Look like a sheep. Think like a wolf. Pay your taxes, the minimum legal amount. Fill out their forms. Nod your head, but secretly detach. 2. The agorist approach. The parallel economy. Starve the beast. Every dollar you spend in the corporate-state nexus feeds them. Every dollar you spend in the gray market, with cash, with crypto, with barter, feeds the rebellion. Trade with your tribe. Hire your friends. Buy local meat. Use encrypted comms. Build a network that functions without the state's permission. If the grid goes down, does your life stop? If the answer is yes, you are a slave. If the answer is no, you are sovereign. The goal is to build a life where the state is irrelevant, where you don't care who the president is because he doesn't pay your bills and he doesn't own your mind. 3. Psychological detachment. Stop watching the news. Seriously, stop. It is poison. It is designed to spike your cortisol. You cannot control the war in Ukraine. You cannot control the interest rate. Focus on your circle of control, your body, your family, your business, your street. The politician wants you focused on the global drama, so you ignore the local reality. Ignore the global, conquer the local. When you stop reacting to their theater, you rob them of their power. A king without subjects is just a crazy man in a hat. Stop being a subject. 4. Economic fortress. We talked about this. Gold, Bitcoin, skills, land, assets that the politician cannot print. If you hold your wealth in fiat, you are voting for the regime. You are holding their bag. Dump their bag. Hold reality. When the inflation destroys the currency, the sovereign man does not starve. He becomes the new center of gravity. He becomes the alpha of the new world. The election is not in November. The election is every single day. You vote with your money. You vote with your attention. You vote with your compliance. Every time you watch their news, you vote for the matrix. Every time you rely on a handout, you vote for the cage. Every time you get triggered by their manufactured culture war, you vote for the division. Stop voting for your own enslavement. The primal code is the code of the freeborn. Nature does not have politicians. Nature has consequences. Embrace the consequences. Take responsibility for your own life. When you accept total responsibility, the politician loses his job. He has nothing to sell you because you are not buying his protection anymore. You are protecting yourself. This is the ultimate rebellion. To look at the emperor, see that he is naked, and simply walk away. Build your own kingdom. Tend your own fire. Sharpen your own spear. The tribe awaits. The farm is for the sheep. The forest is for the wolf. Choose your geography.